Africa is at risk of seeing up to 1.8 million malaria-related deaths by 2025 if immediate and decisive action is not taken. This alarming forecast comes from Ugandan parliamentarian Santa Okot, who has been speaking at the launch of the Coalition of Parliamentarians to End Malaria in Africa here in Accra. Malaria remains one of the leading causes of death and illness across Africa, claiming 600,000 lives in 2023 alone, according to the 2024 WHO World Malaria Report. The continent accounts for 94% of global malaria cases and 95% of malaria deaths, with 13.7 deaths per 100,000 exposed inhabitants.
It is better that the president the head of state should see that this is a danger. Actually, this is, I could call it a big rebel. If the security is to fight it, this is a big rebel. This malaria, these mosquitoes, the big rebel. So if this is eradicated, eliminated from the security, everything will go on well.
Chairman of the Coalition of Parliamentarians to End Malaria in Africa, Peter Ambang, emphasized the urgent need for enhanced political will, particularly among African parliamentarians, to tackle the growing crisis.
The government will be able to subsidize the medications. The government will be able to supply treated mosquito nets. The government will be able to, carry out awareness, recruit health workers, subsidize the medications for this, and of course, provide vaccines for the fight against malaria. We also have to make sure that we work with the local councils, of course, in terms of hygiene and sanitation, and we have to do everything possible, like the Yaoundé Declaration says. We have to do everything possible to see that there is a multi-sectoral approach.
CEO of RBM Partnership to End Malaria, Dr. Michael Adekunle Charles, attributed the setbacks in achieving the 2030 target on chronic funding gaps. He called on African countries to mobilize domestic resources and rigorously enforce existing anti-malaria strategies.
When parliamentarians are appropriating funds, we need to make sure that even funds go beyond just health when we're fighting against malaria. We have issues in many of our countries where you have open gutters. Open gutters have stagnant water. That's a breeding site for mosquitoes. Is that the responsibility of the Ministry of Health or the Ministry of Development? So we need to see malaria fight as a cross-cutting, whole of society, whole of government approach, and we need parliamentarians to understand this, to be able to advocate in Parliament, and to really ensure that our heads of state are also aware of the significance of the fight against malaria.
As malaria continues to claim lives across the continent, health experts are urging African governments to move beyond pledges and act decisively. Stephen Mensah's report for Joy News.